welcome to my podcast. My name is Lana, and I am going to be the person in charge of yapping for a bit here. That's the thing, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be like a little series or a little podcast, but we'll kind of just find out. Well, you guys obviously clearly know already what it's about, but yeah, I'm just very, very excited. And for a lot of my friends and family that know me, I absolutely love yapping. And I feel like words can fully, truly heal other people. And it can be truly used for good. And for me, I wanted to make this series into something that I wish I had when I was younger. And it's just little advice from me. Hopefully you want my advice. But it's just little advice that I wish I had at some point in my life. I'm a bit hungry, and I notice after doing a bit of a mic test that you can truly hear everything from this mic. You might be able to hear my tummy grumbling a little bit, but I am a bit hungry. I low-key wish I had some like chips right now to snack on. I can do a little ASMR for y'all. Without further ado, this is the first episode, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to create a space where words can heal. This is like a whole new space that I'm diving into. But for me, something I wanted to start with this podcast is a little outfit check. I absolutely love outfits, and I feel like doing a little podcast is a little bit of an excuse for me to dress up a little bit and kind of put myself together and do my hair and everything. My top is from Zara. My pants are from Aerie. What else am I wearing? Oh yeah, my watch. My watch is from Amazon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of my jewelry is either like a gift. Today's episode is a little guide on heartbreak. And it is a very, very heavy topic. I remember going through my first breakup, like probably I would say like 6-7 years ago now. And it was a bit scary. It was unfamiliar territory. It was just a feeling of like your world is ending. And I remember during that time watching and finding a video kind of like this a little bit. And I remember watching that video and feeling a good sense of hope that I will be okay, and that pain is not forever, and that my world is not ending. And I know I may feel like that right now, and that's okay. But I'm here to tell you that your world is truly not ending. And these are probably some words that I've been able to compile from various people I've been able to just meet and learn from. I say this now that I've been lucky enough to experience love myself multiple times. And it's beautiful. It can truly be beautiful. And for me, love it's a gift. It's an amazing opportunity for us to just give to another person and also receive in the same end as well. Personally, right now I am single. I am not dating anybody. And I've been loving that. I've been loving being single. And I know there's a whole entire thing about having a boyfriend being embarrassing, but love can truly be a good thing still. And obviously right now, for someone watching this and feeling the heaviness of that heartbreak, and obviously to fully understand the depth of your relationship with this person, I remember hearing that when I was going through heartbreak, and it made me really understand that we all love differently. We all experience love in different ways. And I just remember feeling like I literally was gonna die. Like it literally was nothing was gonna fix it. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. And I think nighttime was the worst. Like for me, it just was a reminder of being alone. I would distract myself throughout the day, but at nighttime was when it would hit you because you would be alone, and that's when you would kind of feel the feelings again. But there's nothing wrong with what you feel right now. And what I always tell people is to truly feel that heartbreak right now, feel that pain, And I know it's easier said than done, but that pain is so beneficial for your growth. It is a beautiful, beautiful place of uncomfortability. It's insane. It's like it's a weird paradox. But I remember going through heartbreak multiple times after my first heartbreak. And there's no saying how many times you're going to go through heartbreak. I've experienced being cheated on. And I know for a fact as well that some people who may know me who is watching this, I am not naming who's cheated on me. I've made some of my relationships public, obviously. I'm referring to a certain relationship that I've experienced that may or may not have been public. I mean, for my first heartbreak and my first love, I felt like there was definitely some hurt there for sure. But I think we mutually ended it. I didn't know how to navigate that at that time. And I filled it with a lot of unhealthy habits, unfortunately. There was other relationships, obviously, in between these ones. So there's really no telling on which ex is who. Not naming any names. Cheating, unfortunately. And that was very, very heartbreaking. I remember thinking that relationship was everything and making it my whole entire world. And I remember going through that and just feeling weight on my shoulders when you've unfortunately find other women on your boyfriend's phone. At that time, my boyfriend's phone. But it can be very traumatic, unfortunately. But now I can safely say that where I am at right now is that it is so much better. It does get better. I promise you it does get better. I have come out of that hurt completely healed now. And obviously I still have a long way to go. But that heartbreak was so necessary. And not by all means, I did not deserve that. And I don't think people who get cheated on deserve to be cheated on whatsoever. I really, really needed that hurt to understand why I allowed myself to get into that situation and to understand my boundaries moving forward and why I would never let that happen to me ever again as much as I can. And I learned to be very discerning from that as well. Obviously, there's no way for you to tell if you're going to be cheated on in a relationship. Yeah, because it's never about you. And at that time, I remember feeling like it was me and literally analyzing every single part of my body, every single part of my personality, every single part of my life and being like, why am I not enough? Why did he do this to me? What is so wrong with me? And that is such a normal feeling at that time. But it's really never was about me. It never was about anything I was missing. Unfortunately, it was that person's way of navigating their relationships in a way. And I can't speak for them, but in a way, I guess it is that. It just never had to do with me whatsoever. There was nothing I could have done. There was nothing I could have done to prevent it. And that's why moving forward, there's really no way or indicator if you're going to be cheated on. I mean, there are red flags here and there that you can kind of watch out for. But for me, I learned so much from that relationship. I truly learned to be discerning in my future relationships. I also learned what I allowed beyond my own boundaries and taking that and knowing that I will never, ever allow someone to break my boundaries like that ever again. There was also another significant relationship that I had to end. And honestly, in this relationship, there was nothing wrong. He treated me so well. He was honestly very, very attentive and I felt very safe with him and I felt like I could trust him. But unfortunately, every day something just didn't feel right. And that's the thing. Sometimes things just don't feel right. And for me, I learned now to trust my gut more than ever because I didn't do that before. Sometimes love just isn't enough. You will meet the most perfect person on paper, but it still isn't. The right choices can sometimes feel like the wrong choice. So that's pretty much my relationship history, I guess. It's not amazing, but I learned so much from them. Some of the lessons I've learned that I want to share with everybody, it's this saying that I've learned from a podcast is that you can only truly meet someone as deeply as they've met themselves. I think that is so beautiful. if you kind of just break it down, it never ever has anything to do with you. It's truly that they just haven't met themselves that deeply. And so that goes to show that if anyone ever cheats on you or anything, they just haven't deeply met themselves enough to heal a part of them that causes them to do that. It's also sometimes a relationship can truly feel right, but it's still lacking certain parts that you don't feel like align with who you are, and it just doesn't feel right. And that's just because they haven't met themselves as deeply as they need to be the right fit for you. I also learned to trust your gut. I was painting the red flags green, but at that time it felt right. And that's why it's like so important to not be so hard on yourself when you make these mistakes as well. But as long as you're learning the lesson, of course, you literally can't. And truly healing, analyze yourself afterwards and analyze your mistakes. When you're going through heartbreak, it is so easy to blame the other party. And by all means, in that situation, I feel like obviously the blame was pretty clear. But I was also partially to blame in some ways, and like not in a negative blaming way. I don't blame myself and I'm not hard on myself, but it was just, was there signs that I maybe chose to ignore? And so yeah, take some days to just truly learn yourself again. After obviously sitting in the heartbreak, sitting in the pain, you do need to sit in the pain for a little bit. And after that, it's truly analyzing where things may have gone wrong, where you may have failed to show up in some ways, where they have failed to show up in some ways, and make a list of that. It's important to do no contact. Like I'm telling you, do not contact them, please, 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 please. Like block them. I'm a firm believer of that if I feel like a relationship is fully done, I am blocking right away. I am deleting pictures right away. I'm deleting videos right away. And call me crazy, but that's literally what works for me, because I refuse to have a snap memory pop up of my ex while I am going through absolute turmoil. That does not make any sense to me, why I would put myself through that. And I also refuse to see them in another relationship later on if I'm following them still. Like, I generally cannot do that. So call me crazy, but I believe in that. And so I truly believe, do not contact them whatsoever. Please do not contact them. And don't contact them. Sit in the pain. Like, sit in the pain, I promise you. It's like when you're doing a set at the gym, like your last set, like it feels so hard to do that last set. But I'm telling you, if you make yourself uncomfortable to get through that set, you'll feel so good afterwards. That's just one thing I can kind of compare it to in hopes that y'all can understand it. I'm not saying like make yourself like very depressed or anything, but like for me, it's literally like I will look like absolute crap the first 3 days of a breakup. Like, I don't care. It is okay. Like, that is fine with me. I will be in sweats. I will unfortunately maybe not brush my teeth. I will literally probably not shower. I will stay in my room and hang out with my dogs. My friends will probably come over. And I know some people have work. Some people have kids and stuff. There's responsibilities, and I can't really speak for you because when I was going through this, I called in sick for work. But if for some people that can't do that, go on about your day, do what you need to do, but make sure maybe at the end of the night, make sure you have time for yourself to just sit in the pain. And what I would do, guys, is literally I would set up a timer and I would make sure I cried before I went to bed. And I know that sounds so funny, but it literally, I would put on either like a sad movie, or anything that I knew would literally make me cry, and I would literally make myself cry just because I knew I needed to get that emotion out. The only way to get through something is to fully go through it. It's once again, it's easier said than done. But after that, honestly, pour into yourself. After a week, pour into yourself. Dress up. Do things that you've always wanted to do. For me, it was literally finding new hobbies, meeting new friends, venture out and just find new experiences for yourself, because it is now a time for you. It is now a time for you to learn about yourself again. It is time for you to learn how to navigate your world outside of this relationship that you were in. And that is so beautiful. To be able to do that is such a gift. It is such a gift, I promise you, once you're in that place. And just push yourself, like literally push yourself to get out there and learn new things and get back to the gym. If you that's something you want to do, get back into running, get a dog. Like, I don't know what else to tell you, but literally do something new. And I always suggest this to people, is get into journaling. And I know sometimes the commitment of journaling every single night is hard, because it's unfamiliar if you haven't really journaled before. But I mean, journal every 2 days, every week, and just spill out your thoughts on there. Like, learn yourself, and also celebrate the big wins. For me, it was honestly taking it day by day. It's telling myself, you know what, I made it through day 1, and that is amazing. Today I made it through day 2. That's amazing. Today I made it through my first week. That is amazing. And celebrate those big wins. And it's hard to do, but don't look so far ahead and being like, oh my gosh, like, I'm never gonna find anybody again. I'm never gonna find love ever again. Like, literally just take it day by day. Just all you need to focus on is to get through day 1, to get through today. That's it. Think about if you're gonna find love in 6 months. Don't think about if he's gonna come back in 3 months or a week. Just know today, that's all you have to get through, and that's done. And that is an accomplishment to even get through one day. It's so important to just live you again. You've been able to live a life outside of this relationship. You've had a life before this person, and you can have it again. I always just remember that you gotta choose self-respect, and that is easier said than done. But what you can do is write down maybe in your journal tonight, or ask yourself tonight, what does self-respect look like for me? And how can I show up to make sure I uphold self-respect, to make sure that I treat myself in the best way possible, to make sure that I love myself fully, to not allow any disrespect from anybody. And for me, I think looking at relationships in this way, it's like we all live in this beautiful book of life, and we get to walk through different chapters of our lives, and it is amazing to be able to write our stories. And there are some times where we don't have control of that story whatsoever, and there are times where we get the pen and we can honestly write and write and write, and we're able to cultivate what we want to be and who we want to be. And this is a time of, unfortunately, where we are not able to control this chapter. But in this book of life, and this story of you, and this story of your life, this chapter may be ending, but this could be chapter 2, but there's the 3rd chapter, and that chapter can be what you want it to be now. But now you get the pen again to write down the next story, and you get to continue it, and that is beautiful. This heartbreak may feel so big, and it is, and you have every right to feel the pain. You have every right to just feel like there is no way to get out of this, and that is okay. But just know that if someone like me can get out of a breakup multiple times alive and thriving even more, then I'm 100% sure you can also do it. And I'm rooting for you. Just know that maybe whenever you're ready, one day you'll be able to look back at this chapter of your life, and you'll be grateful for it. You'll be grateful for the lessons it brought you. You'll be grateful for that love you were able to experience, that you were able to receive, and that you were able to give back to someone. I've always learned that love is never a waste of time. It never really is. Just know that you will be okay, and repeat that to yourself every single time that you feel like you won't. Surround yourself with beautiful people. I think that's it. Cut.